All right, we're rolling. We're live.
We're doing it.
Aloha. Welcome to the latest episode of the Aloha Bungalows podcast, Salt and Stories. We are joined here by our friend Taylor, who is the owner of the Hill Coastal Co., based in Palos Verdes, California. Taylor, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
We're so
so
stoked
much
that
fun.
you're here. We're so stoked. We've been working with you for about, I don't know, how many months
I mean,
now?
almost as long as we've been a business, which
Yes.
is like 8 months.
8 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about
That
right.
is so cool. So I
It's
think
sweet.
a great place to start, given that is how did you come up with the concept of the Hill Coastal Co.?
Yeah, I know. I was thinking through this on the way down, and I was like, okay, there is a long story and a short story, and I was like, I don't know which one they want. I'll kind of
want
just
the
We want the
oh, you
long
want
story.
The long.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
want the long
okay.
story.
The long story. Well, I'll give you the short first. The short is really that we moved to PV in 2022
From where?
from Texas.
Okay.
And
Were you born in Texas?
I wasn't. No, okay. So my husband's job actually moved us out to Texas in, my gosh, like right after we got married in like 2013, 2014. So we were there for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, we had all of our babies there, most of our babies there. And it was like 9 years. And then when his job moved us back to LA, I had known about PV just because I knew there was space. And so it's like, I'm just like a mom to my core. And so I was like, okay, what's going to be the least amount of transition for my babies?
Yeah.
Like, how are we going to make this doable and fun for them? And it was like, I found this rental that was on an acre. And I was just like, what is this? How is this in LA County? 'Cause
Yeah, in Southern California, and LA
Yes.
specifically, an acre is
it was crazy.
hard to come by.
And so that was what moved us out to Palos Verdes, to that area. And then I just like fell in love with it. I was like, in awe that there was all of this natural beauty, but it was so close to this city that we love so much. We went to UCLA for college, for school, and that's where we met. And so it was like I had this idea of LA.
Yes.
And
Westwood's a lot different.
Westwood is so different.
A lot different.
It's so different. And then it was like this perfect marriage of the two things that I love, where it was like this vibrant city. There's so much going on. But then when we go home, it's like I can send everybody outside and say, run for 30 minutes. I don't want to see you guys.
Yeah.
I want
Totally.
you to burn all the energy
Right.
and it feels safe.
Yeah.
And we can go for hikes. And it's just good food. We had sweet community. All that to say, I fell in love with PV. We have kids that are like sports age. And I was at all of the youth things. And I was just like, wait, I want a PV sweatshirt. I want a cute PV sweatshirt. I'm sure there's a million of them. And I went online and I just couldn't find anything that I would wear. They were very dated or
There's
nothing.
really not a lot out
There's
there.
not.
Yeah.
I was shocked by
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Palos Verdes, a lot of the time, gets forgotten because it's not one of the beach cities.
Yeah.
Like you'll run into Redondo Beach, Hermosa Beach, Manhattan Beach.
Have all the merch in the world.
Things.
Yes.
But then
The
where
West
our
Side.
shop is, it's like it's catty corner from Palos Verdes.
And the
So it's
majority
where
of-
all the people on the
and
hill
the,
go.
and the majority of
Yeah.
people who frequent the Riviera
Yes.
Village are Palos Verdes residents.
Yes.
Correct.
And so that was, it really just spiraled. I like went on Etsy and was trying to figure out if I could make it. And then I got a few of the sweatshirts and I was just like, oh my gosh, these are trash.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not wearing this.
Yeah.
And it really snowballed. I was talking to my husband, Ryan, and I was like, I think I can make these. I think I can do this.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, really? You think so? And I have a handful of friends that are just like really incredible entrepreneurs. And so I'd seen it done before. Like I had no experience with it, but I was just like, no, I can do it. And that is how it started. That's
That's so
the
cool.
short story.
Okay.
The long story is that we moved to Texas like, oh my gosh, over a decade ago. And it was like we had to build community from the ground up.
Sure.
Where
are you from originally?
Originally from a little lake town north of Seattle. I'm a Western Washington girl through and through.
Very
Okay.
cool.
Yes, born
Very
and raised
cool.
there.
What town?
Lake Stevens.
Sure.
Are you familiar?
I've heard of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it also had the best childhood growing up there and have the sweetest community. I do feel like there's this theme of being impacted and inspired by the people around me my entire life.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, oh yeah, you're formed by the people around you.
Totally.
And the funny part was, it's like, okay, where I grew up, I loved it. Fantastic community. And then came down to LA, went to school, loved it there, made so many good, sweet friends, and then spent a ton of time in Texas, but we knew no one.
Sure.
I just remember sitting in our teeny apartment by myself, and Ryan, my husband, he plays soccer professionally, so he travels a ton. And we had moved halfway across the country. He's already gone on a trip that was like 12 days long, and I'm sitting with boxes up to our ceiling just being like, what am I going to do?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
How did I get here?
Totally.
I don't even know anybody to call to be like, you want to come help me unpack?
Yeah.
You know, and it was...
And you had your kids at the time or no?
No, we didn't have
Okay.
any kids yet. In the next few years we did, but it was all part of that process. We made such sweet friends in Texas where it really changed my view of how you parent, how you live life, where you're just like, oh, I don't want to do it any other way. I want the type of friendships where I can call you at 9 a.m. and be like, I'm struggling, so this is a rough day. And someone will be like, okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes.
I'm
I'll
bringing
drop off coffee
yep.
and I'll pick up your babies. We're going to the park.
Yeah.
Totally.
You know, like it was just, especially as a young mom, you know,
need
You need that community.
it.
You need that
Yeah.
village. It
Yeah.
really
You need
takes a
it.
village.
Yes.
It does. It does.
It was really special. And there's also just that Southern hospitality, which was
No question.
so new
Were
to
you guys
me.
in Dallas?
We're like one city north of Dallas,
Yeah.
Richardson.
Yeah.
Ryan.
My sister went to SMU.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. We love
Dallas
that
is great.
area.
It's a cool city. It really
Yes.
is. And the people there are they're good. It is that they get that Southern hospitality.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, it was really special. We have so many sweet friends, and all my friends in Dallas are going to kill me. The one thing was that when people would ask about us living in Dallas and if we loved it, I would be like, man, I love the people here. This is not our forever home. You know, like as far
Sure.
as just like what I am drawn to, where I feel most alive,
Yes.
I'm like, oh, Southern California. Like,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
it's just
You
who I
like
am.
take the
And especially
people
because you had a
to
taste of it in college,
Yes.
right? And it's like most people like once you get a taste of Southern California, it is hard
Yeah.
to leave.
Yes.
It is hard to go anywhere else.
1,000,000%. So it was like these years where I'm learning just like how much community impacts and forms a life and being shaped by that. And then we got moved back to, Ryan got traded to LAFC. So he plays soccer now for one of the teams in LA. And I just fell in love with PV. And
Totally.
it was the first time in my life where I was like, oh, it's this combination of the people here felt so quickly. We just had a lot of really sweet, deep friendships. And then also the natural beauty of the place where I'm just like, oh, I love it here. Like
Yes.
we're not leaving.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, Ryan. We're not leaving.
Yeah.
That's it. And he was just like, you know, on board as well. He loves
Yeah,
it
if
too.
you get traded again, you're
Yeah,
going
no,
alone.
Yeah.
So we always talk about that. I'm like, look, you're gonna have to
See you in the off season,
the
babe.
kids and I'll come visit you. But yeah, so through that process, it was like, oh, I'm so inspired by the place that I live. I love living here. And I do think that is what shapes and forms a community. If people are proud of it, if people
Yes.
are invested in it, if people care about it. And so that was part of just the ethos behind the Hill Coastal Co. was like, oh, what if I could just in a little way do that for where I live and some of the surrounding communities and inspire people to love where they live.
Yeah.
And
And the thing that's great about the South Bay and Palos Verdes is people love
yes.
living there.
Yes.
And they love
repping it.
representing
Yeah.
that. I mean, at the Aloha Bungalow, we sell more things that say Redondo Beach or Palos Verdes than almost anything else.
I believe it.
Because people are just, and that's one of the things I love about the community is like people are just so damn proud to
Yeah.
be South Bay.
Yes.
Right? And then they're so proud to be from Redondo Beach or they're so proud to be from Palos Verdes. And it is so cool to have that kind of community appreciation and love and
Yes.
pride. The pride is just so cool because you hear about that in other places in the country, but like when you hear LA, like there's so many transplants
Right.
in Los Angeles.
And so many pockets.
And so
it's
like,
so
you don't
spread
get
out.
that,
Yeah.
like, I'm obsessed with being, but it's like, the thing that I also love about the South Bay is you get way more people who are just like, rooted there from there, have experiences there. Like, Emily happens to be a fourth generation Californian.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's a third generation Palos Verdean,
Yeah.
which is wild, right? And so it's like, that's like, we take a lot of pride in Palos Verdes.
Yes.
It's really cool.
Well, and it's like people that are from PV love PV. All of the friends that I have made there grew up there.
Yeah.
It's wild to me. I'm like,
a lot of
people
them stay.
Yeah, stay
Correct.
or they come back.
Correct.
It's
Yeah.
like, no, this is where I want to be forever, even
Totally.
if I, go to college somewhere else or go elsewhere. It's like people know how
Yeah.
great it is.
Yeah.
And it's such a unique thing where, and it's funny because like, so I was born in Redondo Beach, and even when I was like a kid, like people always talked about like Palos Verdes is just like, it's so far from, like, it's like, why would you live out there? You
Yeah.
know? But then people from Palos Verdes are like, we love that.
Yeah.
I
We
love
love
that about
that.
it.
That. And like her dad grew up in Palos Verdes, and even hearing stories from him, it's so cool because, I mean, it was a ranching community for
Yes.
the longest time.
Oh, I geek out on the history.
It's
I'm
so
like, it's so
cool.
cool.
It's so cool.
Yes.
Do
And
you follow, like, is it
Past
Past
Palos
Palos
Verdes.
Verdes?
Yes.
So
I
cool.
love those.
Oh.
videos.
Great-
I
great
love the,
Instagram.
like, the,
Yeah.
yeah.
Phenomenal Instagram.
Whoever's doing that.
Phenomenal
Good
stuff.
job.
Yeah, some of the
Yeah.
archives they find, I'm like, where are they finding this stuff? This
Yes.
is so cool. But yeah, the history of it is really, really fascinating, and how, I mean, it was so interesting because it was a ranching community on the
Yeah.
beach,
Yes.
overlooking the ocean, and
Talk about the first, like, coastal cowboy, like,
know.
right,
cowgirl.
big
Yeah.
time coastal cowboys, and the fact that still to this day there is such a ranching, I would say, kind of culture that still exists, right? Like there's horseback riding, and there's-
Equestrian.
equestrian is
Yeah.
very strong, and
Yes.
even just things that I love where it's like when you pull up to a stoplight and you see that there's a crosswalk, there's the one for people and then there's the tall one for the
Yes.
horses. You're just like, where
Yeah.
am I?
It's
like
so
there's no
special.
way, and everyone always says there's no way this is LA.
Yeah.
This is crazy that this is LA.
Well, and that was, one of the reasons that it was like people were trying to get out of the city. It's like they wanted to have room for horses, they wanted to have stables, and which is, cracks me up now because you're like, oh, you're still very close to the city. But then
Yeah,
it wasn't.
it
It
was
was like,
really
no,
far,
we're
yeah.
getting far. We're getting far out, and yeah, we have loved. I think that has been not being from there. I feel even more like endeared to all of the things as I
Yeah.
learn more about PV, where I'm just like, oh, this is such a fun area. It's such a hidden gem.
It is.
Yeah, we love it so much. I made a small business.
So great.
That's
So-
all about it.
So you had this idea. So you're like, okay, I want to represent Palos Verdes,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to be able to wear this, but I can't find. So then, did you design? How did you go about designing the
Yes.
initial products?
Okay, so I had I don't have a design background. I'm not, my degree is in environmental science. So it's
Very
very,
cool.
What
Yeah.
were
very
you
different.
doing before?
Well, I've been at home with my babies
Yeah.
my oldest is 9, but before then I worked for a small city in Texas, and I was in charge of their sustainability program.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
that.
so it's like that is what a big piece of the Hill Coastal
Sustainability.
Code.
This
Yes,
is
where I'm
making
just
sense.
like, I want to do this in a way that I feel morally good about.
Yes.
That
That's
like brings
fantastic.
dignity to all the people who are in the process of making these sweatshirts.
Right.
And so that's a big piece of it. But the design, I had an idea, but I was like, okay, there's no way I can do this in a way that will look exactly like I want it to look. And there's a fantastic graphic designer, merchandise designer, illustrator that is a friend from Seattle. Her name is Mare Hunter. And guys, I just can't recommend her enough every
Is she
time.
the one who did the peacock?
Yes. Oh, she
Yeah.
in
The peacock is.
she's-
I saw you shout out someone from Seattle, and I was like, I wonder what
Yes.
the connection is there. That peacock is.
Oh,
So
she's
lights
so
out.
talented,
That's
and
cool.
she's so lovely to work with. And so right away, I knew with the idea of the illustrations I wanted, the graphics I wanted, I was like, oh, I have to reach out to Mare. And it so quickly became this just great partnership
That's so
where I'm like,
cool.
oh, I can tell you, hey, this is exactly what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way I want it to look. This is the way I want the peacock's head to be
Yes.
facing.
Yes.
And she is just brilliantly talented and brought all of them to life, and has taught me so much in the process. You're just like,
Oh, yeah.
I have had such great mentors as I've started this, people that have been like, oh, hey, this is the way that you should handle production at first, or
Yes.
this is the way you should. It's just been really a product of like how great in our community is.
Yeah.
You know what
and
I
you're
mean?
like
It's
learning and growing as you're like going through it. Yeah.
And people have been so gracious, for all the like dumb questions I've asked or the like things that
I think people kind of like almost appreciate it more because you're not like this know-it-all coming in hot and being like, I want this. It's like people like
genuine curiosity.
Yeah.
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 Oh, and I love the process of like building and creating, and it's been so fun. But Meredith is the one who does the bulk of like any real illustrations. I give her my idea, and I can design a little bit and make things I like. But she's the.
It's exactly how we are.
Yeah,
One of my best friends, his name's Jeff, and we actually lived with him for a while, and
awesome.
He is a graphic designer at Mattel.
Okay.
And he studied graphic design. I went to college with him, and he is like one of the most lights out designers I've ever met in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Same thing. I'll come to him and I'll be like, "Here's what I'm thinking. Here's
He'll
a
do
rough,
like a little sketch.
awful sketch."
Yeah. Yes.
And then he'll be like, "All right." And like a week later, he'll come back and I'll be like, "Stop it."
Yes.
This is
You
better than I
nailed
even
it.
thought.
Like, you literally went into my brain,
Yeah.
took it out, put it on paper, and I'm like, it's unbelievable what he can do. It's so
and then you're like, no,
crazy.
stick with those people forever.
Yes,
They're
like our Palos Verdes tea towel,
Yeah.
I drew some sketch, and he created it, and it's like
like
it's so
sticks.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
It's so
really
fun.
like it is a talent.
It's so talented.
Yes.
It's so cool, and same thing, like he has such a keen eye for design that like when we had a clothing brand ourselves before we had a Aloha Bungalow, and he was one of our co-founders, and he would like give me even like our business cards. Like I showed him a business card I wanted to make one time, and he was like, "You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he
you're
showed,
like, "Well, now I'm
and then
not
he
sure."
designed one, and he was like, "This is what you really." And I was like, "Oh, that's
That's what I really
so
want.
much better."
Yeah.
It's like I learned so much about marketing and branding from him. It was so cool. So yeah, I agree. Like the learning journey as part when you start something like that is, I'd say like that's my favorite part.
What was your first design? Like
Oh, it was our like classic Palos
Verdes.
Verdes, which
Okay.
was like
On the dark
had
sweatshirt.
the black
on the dark sweatshirt.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that was what started it. That was all I wanted originally. Was like I
I
just
just want one sweatshirt for
Man,
me.
and we
Yes,
can't
I
even
want
keep
one
that
sweatshirt. I just
and
wanna wear this.
stop.
I wanna wear
need
this
to do
sports.
a reorder
I know,
on those,
reorder,
by
but
the
that's
way.
great.
Yeah, I think we have like 3 left. So
I love it. And that was I have it's so my dad's old college sweatshirt from like the 70s.
Yeah.
And it is that like classic university font.
Totally.
yes,
And I still wear it to this day. I mean, that sweatshirt's like 5 how old is that?
it doesn't go
Yeah.
out of style.
Doesn't go
yeah.
to style.
Yes.
If anything, it gets cooler. It gets cooler.
It gets
every
cooler.
year.
1,000,000%. And so that is all that I wanted. And it was just shocking that I couldn't find it. So yeah, that's the inspiration
That
behind
is
it.
so cool.
It just lost the like elasticity in the neck. And I was like, oh, we made it so far.
I know, right?
But
It's
that
such
was
a
it.
simple idea too, and just such a simple like black that just says Palos Verdes in the like. I feel like it's
Yes.
just such a simple concept.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I love about it is I always say like Palos Verdes is the beach life, but it's a refined beach life.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah.
And what I love about your designs is I've since the second I saw them, I looked at that and I was like, that's an elevated,
Yeah.
refined
Thanks.
design that like people will look at and go, oh, I can wear that.
Yeah.
Because people in Palos Verdes don't like kitsch.
Yeah.
You like kitsch at the pier. You go to
Yeah,
Redondo Beach
yes.
Pier, you want the kitsch. You want the crab that's like clawing and it says like, Redondo Beach,
Yeah.
whatever. It's like kitschy stuff, that's great. But Palos Verdes people, it's like that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for like an elevated experience. And that's exactly what these all designs are, which I can attest to you. Like you've nailed it on that aesthetic.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That has
Well, and
matched the
it
community.
feels
I feel
very PV to me, right? Where you're
Yes.
just like, oh, it's an older community. There's now a lot of turnover happening with young families, but for the
Families, yeah.
most part, you've got people that have lived in PV forever,
Literally.
and so it's just like going with like classic minimalist,
Yes.
simple but
Coastal
elevated,
and elevated.
Coastal.
Exactly. It's it. It's
Yes.
so beautiful.
Like I can't remember who was it was like it was kind of like a dig. They were like, well, it looks like an old gym sweatshirt, and I was like,
You're like,
oh
"Thank
my
you."
gosh, you nailed it. And I was
Thank
like,
you.
yes, your
You get
favorite,
it. You get
yeah,
it.
your favorite old gym sweatshirt that you reach for every single day.
Absolutely.
That is what I wanted.
Yeah.
That's
Or
what I
your
wanted.
dad's sweatshirt from the 70s that you've
Yes.
been wearing since you were a
That
kid.
is still cool.
It's cooler now than it was
And
then.
like
Yeah.
I love the neutral, more earthy vibes. I'm like, every once in a while, I'm like, do we need to do like a pop of color? And then I'm like, I don't know. You just feels trying to stay true to that aesthetic that really is like, what do I want to wear every day? What just like goes with a lot of things, is classic, and represents a place I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good.
That's so cool.
How about, so how did you think of like this hill one? Because it's so unique.
Yes.
And at first when I was buying it from you, I was sort of like, well, the price point, I'm not sure. And then like just how it's like on the arms, like I loved the way it was photographed and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do I put this on a hanger? Does it have hanger appeal?
Yes.
Are people going to understand
Well, and again,
it?
the cool thing about this is like this is a take on a design as old as time, right?
Yeah.
It's like you go to the beach somewhere in Florida or California, or you go to Disneyland, and you get the long sleeve shirt with the big banner on the background, and it represents this like place that you went. Yeah. And what I love about this is like you took that idea and you elevated it.
And we just
You took the kitsch out of it. You took the like whatever standard thing, and you made it so beautiful and unique. But it's also like people look at that, they go, "I've seen."
You've seen it, and
before.
it's gosh, what is the name? There's like a brand. They're like the heavier weight, long sleeve T-shirts that are very like.
When we moved to Hermosa Beach, when we were right out of college, we went to the pier and got Hermosa Beach shirts that were exactly that design.
But they had the letters that like peel off.
The puff. There's a
print,
more technical name for it, but the puff font, and it was a take on that. My father-in-law has. I just have this vivid memory of one from Lake Tahoe.
There you go.
And it was like, oh, I loved that shirt. It's just
it's a
so
cool
classic.
Design. It is. It's classic. That's
and
exactly
so then
it.
to do it on something that I would wear more often, and just honestly, I was so thrilled when I figured out the hill would fit.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. You don't even just say Palos Verdes across it. Yeah, it's the hill. Yeah. It's so cool.
And that was more where I wanted it to be like kind of a locals only thing.
Yeah.
So it just worked out, but it is a take on a classic.
Okay, so why get rid of them? I heard on your
I know,
Instagram that this is the last of them.
Yes.
So the ones at the shop, it's
All right,
the last.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. We have.
Why? They are
I think
so
I have a lot
popular.
of extra smalls and extra larges if anybody's interested.
Okay.
Okay, so it's all like small business production. I'm still figuring out how to do this thing, and it's kind of living within the constraints of my wholesaler, where it's like I can get a certain amount of certain colors, and then they're gone. I can always get some of my classic staples, but I also am just trying to lean into that. It's like, okay, that forces me to be more creative. It's like, okay, what is the next design that I want to do? Or I think we're going to keep that design. We'll put it on another, because I love it so much. We'll put it on another color. Yeah. But even just looking seasonally of like, okay, does that mean that for the fall we're doing a hoodie, or it forces me to live within boundaries that are also, so I'm not just like trying to move and do the next thing all the time.
Like routine.
Yes. But also like it's really like it breeds creativity.
Yes.
For sure. Because you're like, okay, here's the parameters that I can operate in.
Yeah.
How do I make this work?
Yeah.
Well, and I am really committed to the quality. I mean, that's a huge piece of it, is the quality of these sweatshirts. You're like, they're 100% organic cotton. It's the looped thread on the inside that makes them so cozy.
Yeah.
And I can't find that anywhere else unless I were to make it myself. And we're just not there yet.
Yeah.
We're just not there yet. Yeah. And
You've been around 8 months.
I know. I'm trying to be okay with that.
Yeah, you're like, I don't need to get vertically integrated yet.
Yes. I mean, someday maybe.
Yeah,
it would be so sweet to scale and do that. But
that's what Emily did before the bungalow.
Emily?
She worked for.
We need to have this
she worked
conversation.
In the she worked in the fashion industry for a number of years, and she worked for a vertically integrated groceries apparel.
Yes.
In LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that world is like you know that world.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like,
it's
I'm
a
no
wild
designer.
world.
It's a wild
It's
world.
a wild world.
It's a wild world, and I think that's it. I'm like, I want to I like where we are at. I want to keep growing, but there's also just like other priorities, like I'm a mom of 4. I've got a husband that travels all the time. My
And you're
kids-
traveling with him a lot of the time too.
We're-
I feel like
We're
like
going
to
on some of the
support.
trips. We've gone on
Yeah.
less now that we have more kids. I'm just like,
It's
nobody's
harder.
hauling 4 babies on the plane all the
No.
It's a
time.
lot.
But yes, it is a different lifestyle for sure. You know, even like he's got a game last night and we're out till midnight. And so are 2 of my kids. And so it's just like, and that's that's a weekly thing where you're like, oh, it's just a different lifestyle. So trying to just lean into where the season that we're in and how to like grow in a way that is sustainable. And part of that is just like, I can't keep all the colors all the time.
Yeah.
But I can keep the design. So we'll do something.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that like people listening we're definitely gonna ask that. So
Yes. Yeah.
So how do you balance a mom of 4? I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's my crazy full-time job.
Uh-huh.
My sister just had her 4th kid. We were in
Okay.
Nebraska. She lives in Omaha.
How's she doing?
She's wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, my
That's
sister.
always my first question. Like,
Yeah, how is she?
Yeah.
How is
My sister's
she?
one of those people
How
where
can we help her?
my
What do we
sister's
need to
one of those
do?
people where she just handles everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's an engineer.
Yeah. Oh, good
She's
for her.
so smart.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I mean,
So
every
calm
time you
and
ask her,
even
she's like,
keel.
I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
fine. Like, I
It's
got
amazing.
it. It's like, wow, you're amazing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But like, I watched her manage 4 kids, and I'm like, that is insane.
That's a
How
job.
much work that takes. So I understand how much work it takes to manage 4 kids. So how
Yeah.
do you do that and balance owning a business?
Yeah, I'm still figuring it out.
Sure.
You know, I think that I have to have just like a clear picture every morning of like, okay, what are my priorities for the day? And it just is never simple or easy. You know, it's like, okay, we homeschool. We do a homeschool hybrid, and I have loved it. It
That's
is, and
awesome.
I never thought I would be a homeschool mom. That is like, never was.
It's funny, my sister's
That's
doing
what I
that
was
too.
gonna say.
She's
That's
doing
what
too.
She's doing a
Megan's
homeschool
doing,
hybrid.
too.
But there
program.
is something like when you have so many kids, when you can dictate your own schedule in a way and keep a certain rhythm to your house, it is so life-giving for all of the kiddos when there is a schedule they can expect. And, you know, I just think of, yeah, we have loved it.
Just the idea of getting 4 kids in the car every day to go drop 1 or 2 off.
Honestly, that was like
Insane.
one of the reasons why I was like, I can't do this. We did a year of public school, and we love our local public schools. We love like our public schools are fantastic.
Yeah, PV schools
But
are great.
Yeah.
Part of it was that like I was like, oh my gosh,
This is
all these
crazy.
kids every morning?
Yeah,
Is that
every
real?
morning.
Lunches for all of
I
them?
know, literally. That's
Like,
part of
what?
my sister. She was like, I can't
I
put
can't
all
do
4 of
it.
them in the car to go drop my kindergartner
Even
off.
with 2, I was like, hey, hot lunch today.
Yeah.
That's what you're getting.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's
you know,
amazing. No, it just
Yeah.
the logistics of life become really interesting with 4
Yes.
kids. Yeah.
And it's been so that's been really sweet and life-giving for our family. Like it's just been the joy of
That's awesome.
my motherhood to like teach them how to read. I think too, I was just one of those kids in school where it was like I was really goal oriented. I just like got to the next thing, and I'm like, I don't remember half of it.
Yeah.
And so it feels like I am relearning with them.
That's really cool.
I will be like, did you guys know this is what the silent E does?
Yeah, isn't that so
Crazy.
cool? Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
You're like
or-
getting into like the fine arts of grammar,
Yes.
and you're like, wow.
Wow, the English language is crazy.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
I say,
It's complicated.
It's
and crazy.
complicated.
Yeah, totally.
What is
That's so
this?
cool.
So it's a balance. I feel like some days I wake up and I'm like, oh hey, I need to get these orders in. I need to get these packages out. I need to take this much time. And then there are just certain days where they're home with me, and I'm like, oh, this is where I need to be present. This is where all my energy
Correct.
needs to be.
Yeah.
And I just need to lean in. So, and it's never balanced. You know, it's never perfect.
Never fully balanced. No, of course.
Yeah. So
But
when
you
people
try
are
to
like,
do the best you can.
yeah, how do you do it all? I'm like, I don't. I like things fall through the cracks all the time.
Totally.
I mean, my kids are like rarely in shoes. They need haircuts so bad.
Yeah.
But you know, then I'm like, but
But I'll get
got
around
an
to it.
Instagram reel up today,
Yeah.
and that was a
It's a
win.
win. It's a win.
And that was, you know,
It's a
that's
win.
just some of the days.
Yeah.
And then most days, it's like they're the priority, and I'm just like, yeah, they're only little for so long. I want to be here.
Yeah, and you're not kidding. It's so
Yeah.
true, and that's we have
You
a similar.
guys know?
We have a similar life. Yeah, I mean, we've been able to structure our life where we are available and home a lot of the time
Yeah.
with our kids, and our kids go to. Our son just started preschool yesterday. Actually,
He
which is
did?
crazy.
How
Yeah.
was it?
It was
Really good.
so cute.
Such a
That's
good
And he
like,
did so
first guy.
good.
He did so
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It's amazing how when they're ready and you're
they're
like, oh yeah,
adaptable and
you're
they're-
gonna be fine. You're gonna
Yeah.
be great.
And so 3
He's,
days a
like,
week
thriving.
they're 3 days a week they're in daycare, preschool, and then the rest of
Okay.
the time they're at home. And we balance like spending as much time with them and being super
Yes.
present with them. But then it's like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, we're like, those are our grind. days.
Yes.
Like we gotta get everything done.
Get after
so
it.
that way, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, like we're like there. We're
Yeah.
in it. But then there's times where she'll be like, like she just went to Vegas for a trade show and she's getting ready for Christmas.
Okay.
She's like, I got like 1,000 things to upload into Shopify. Like, I need 2 hours. It's like, there we go. I'll take the boys. We'll go somewhere. So it's like, it is that balance, and it's.
Or if there's like a shop thing, you know, like it's like I try not to look at my phone.
Yes.
And I'll focus on like Riley and Tanner and stuff, but then I'll come back
Sometimes
to my phone
need
and there's
you.
like
You're like,
8 messages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you
it's
have
just
to
that
jump on
balance.
it.
Yeah.
It's just part of it. And I feel like there is a balance, right? You want to be present, but then it's also been really sweet to watch my kids see me work and prioritize something and be inspired by something.
Totally.
And
it's such a cool example for them to see. It is. And it's like, I'm sure it is resonating with them, like consciously, subconsciously, right?
Yeah. Oh, my oldest is like, when he first saw me starting to design things, he was just like, Mom, what about, can we do this? Can we they've got an iPad that they use for school stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, can we put this program on my iPad and then I can make t-shirts? And it was just like,
yes.
oh my gosh, yes, buddy, let's do it.
Yes.
What do you want to design?
Totally.
What do you want to do? You know,
So I was going to ask, do they, like your kids or your husband have like, or friends or anyone have like any input or say or like inspiration behind what you design, or like have given you ideas or?
Oh my gosh, they totally do. My husband he is the best and the worst. He's like, he is
as we usually are.
My biggest supporter. He is the guy. It's like, okay, no, go. I have him. You know, like even today, he's like, I got it. Go, no problem.
Yeah.
But as far as like asking him for advice on any design related thing, he just kind of like stares at it, and you can tell he's like really trying.
Yeah.
And I'm
Like,
like,
it's
okay, but
great.
if we moved this over, like, do you see the difference? And he's like, I don't see
You
anything.
give me
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love you so much. He's trying. He's trying so hard.
Totally.
He's good at other things. And my kids, so my 9-year-old Henry, we call him Huck, and he has such strong opinions. But also, it helps because I'm like, oh, what would a picky 8-year-old boy want to wear? And I'm like, oh, if Huck will wear it, then we have nailed it.
What would Huck do?
Isn't that great? That's
And so
super cool.
when we did the peacock on the e-bike design, he was all about it.
Okay, good.
But he was like not sure about the color palette at first, and then we figured it out, and it was like, oh yeah, we did it, we got it there. That is like I knew
and
because
those
heall wear it.
are such cool shirts.
Yeah, they're
Crush.
so
They're
fun.
so
Yeah,
awesome.
Riley
They're so fun.
loves
Riley has
his.
his. Riley has one.
I love
He
it.
reps it.
Yes.
Reps it hard. Yeah.
Yeah, they influence everything. And there's also just like the wearability piece where I'm just like, oh, can these t-shirts make it through 2 days of my kids
of this
wearing them
life.
and me washing them all the time?
Yeah.
And, you know, can I feel good about selling this because I know it's not going to fall apart? And if like my 3-year-old can wear it and still looks good after 5 wears, then I can sell it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, that's so,
I feel
so
good about
true.
selling
Yeah,
this.
then I feel good about selling it.
This will last a lifetime.
Yes, exactly.
That is so cool.
Yeah. No, they're all over all parts of it.
So where are you in, like, I know you do online, and I know you're at Blends Up, and
Yes.
you're at us. Do you
Yeah,
have
so
any
we are in, or we're at Terranea, which has
Oh,
been really
that's
sweet.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Oh my gosh, it was like it was one of those things where I'm like, oh, I'm just going for it. I mean, Terranea, obviously you're just like, I would love to sell to them. That's a great.
Well, it's great because I feel like you and Terranea makes complete sense.
Yeah.
It makes, in
complete
my
sense.
head,
Symbiotic.
that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Like if I was at Terranea on vacation and I walked into the gift shop and I saw your sweatshirt, I'd be like, that's my sweatshirt. I'm taking that home.
Well, and so my worry in all of this was just like, is there a big enough market? Is there a big enough demographic? And it's been sweet because we've had so many repeat customers, so many people that like community is just on board. But the idea of being able to sell to Terranea was like, oh, it's like a rotating customer base. You have people that are coming in for vacation and they love the area.
Totally.
But I had no connection.
Yeah.
I looked up emails of people that looked at or worked at Terranea, and then I Googled who would be the buyer for their gift shop. And then I put her last name together with the email ending and just cold emailed her repeatedly.
Brilliant.
And it was the most fun day ever. I'm sitting in Chick-fil-A with my 4 kids and she emails back. And it wasn't just like, hey, thanks for the email. She put in an order right away.
Wow.
And I just cried
Yeah, no kidding.
in Chick-fil-A. It was the biggest order we'd ever gotten.
Yeah.
It was like what pushed me
incredible.
forward. Like, okay, this might have legs.
Validation.
We
Big
could,
time.
this is, somebody likes the designs. They're willing to sell it. It was just my kids were like, "What's wrong?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Mom, I'm so happy."
It's so
happy
good.
tears.
Happy tears.
I
That
never
is
thought I'd get
so
this email
cool.
back.
That's so amazing.
Yeah, that's been sweet. A sweet partnership
That's
there. And
incredible.
then Choreology in the middle of the hill, the Penn Center, so the Pilates studio. And
yeah.
they've been such a sweet relationship too. So yeah, it's been.
And
it's
Corridor Flow, too.
And Corridor Flow is
Yeah,
where we
Love
have
Corridor
they're
Flow.
like
They're
our
amazing.
Lomita
Yeah,
gear.
which I love.
Yes.
Because my
Oh
mom's
gosh.
from Lomita, or she lives
She
in
lives
Lomita
there,
now.
yeah.
Yes.
So she reps the Lomita sweatshirt. The friendly
does.
city.
I mean, I have really, there's so much city pride in Lomita.
Totally.
I am so, and we live right next to Lomita. And so I'm just so endeared to that area and that place. We know the shop owners at Corridor Flow, and they're just lovely people.
So
and
what
it's
made you
been fun.
branch out and do Lomita? Because that's the only other city you've done, right?
We-
Besides Palos Verdes?
We've done Rolling Hills Estates, or we've done
Cool.
Rolling Hills.
Yeah.
Yes, so 2.
Rolling Hills,
and
that's
I
right.
kind of committed in the beginning of like, I will only branch out to other cities that I like really feel invested and I know them well.
Yeah.
Like I'm not just gonna throw a design on any
Sure.
sweatshirt. And
Call
so
it a day, yeah.
those were the first 2 that I felt really good
Makes
about
sense. Yeah.
and just loved the black and white, which it is just so simple, but I was like, oh, this is gonna hit. I think
Oh.
it's gonna be so
You can't go wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
or the white on black. But so Lomita and Rolling Hills. That was also tricky too, because it's like there's Rolling Hills Estates.
Totally.
And they're different. But
Mm-hmm.
if you ask someone, they're just gonna say they're from Rolling Hills. And so it's been, but on the occasion, someone will get really nitpicky and be like, "Well, it doesn't say Estates," and I'm like, "Estates is a really long. It's long. It's
Yeah,
a lot.
that's
It's a lot
a
to
lot.
address
It's a
for
lot.
you."
It's a lot to fit on a sweatshirt,
I'm
guys.
trying, you guys. Okay, I'm really.
It honestly makes
yeah.
me. It's so funny to me how on that hill there's Rancho Palos Verdes, Palos Verdes
Yes.
Estates, Rolling Hills Estates,
And then Rolling
Hills, and there's also unincorporated Palos Verdes
Verdes
Peninsula,
Yes.
which is like
We almost moved to the like neighborhood that really makes up the most of like that
so
area.
my friend Jeff,
Yeah.
my friend Jeff, that's where he lives.
That's
it's
where he
right next to
lives.
Chadwick. He
Yeah,
literally can
yeah.
walk to Chadwick from his house. And like I remember when we were like going to his house one time, I was like, "Why does it say Palos Verdes Peninsula?
Yes.
It's not a city." And he's like, "Well, it's unincorporated LA County."
Yeah.
As I was like, "Why is any part of Palos Verdes unincorporated?"
That's honestly
It's
like
so
a fact that
baffling.
we need to figure out.
It's
That's
ba-
more
it's-
PV history.
It's,
that
yeah,
we need
I'm
to,
like, I need to get to the
unearth.
bottom of this. And it's
Yes.
so, I honestly, like her dad being born and raised in Palos Verdes, I usually go to him with these types of
Yeah.
things because he amazes me at how much he
The
knows.
history.
He'll be like, "Well, sit down." He's like, "Well, let me explain to you." He's like,
Yeah.
"Well, there was this family," and I'm like, "Wow."
He's
right?
your guy. I
He
mean,
is.
that's, I
It's
mean,
so
that's
fun.
not the
It's
goal.
so cool
Yeah.
to talk about it with him, but it amazes because I mean, like you just think like people hear Palos Verdes, like, "Oh yeah, it's Palos Verdes, California." It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's not.
No, it's not.
There's like 5 different
Yes.
addresses up there. It's
And that's
so
I try
crazy.
to like if I'm like grouping it all together, I will say the peninsula,
Yeah.
but then it's also like people call it PV.
Totally.
You know, it's like so
PV.
to put Palos Verdes on a sweatshirt, it feels like everybody knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is.
And if you
people,
put Peninsula, then you start getting into high
high
school
school,
territories
exactly,
because she's a
yes.
Panther.
yes,
There's no Sea Kings
No Sea-
situation. You see, right? No one from PV High is gonna wear anything that says Peninsula
Exactly.
on it. Right?
Yes.
And so,
So-
that's like it's so funny. I'm like, yeah, you got to know like the nuances of that
Yeah.
hill. you know?
yes.
It's
Well,
so
and
funny.
coming in, it has been so funny to like ask questions about certain things and how I'm like, I really want to make sure that I'm pronouncing this right. You know, like that would be just atrocious
Yeah.
if I do so.
But I also like you've done some stuff that says like Portuguese Bend.
Yeah.
Right,
Malga
and that's
Cove.
cool in Malga Cove,
Yeah.
and so that's cool
Yeah.
because then there's the little neighborhoods that people do identify with
Yes.
within the cities on the hill, which is really cool too.
The neighborhood hats were such a fun
Yeah, that is a fun one.
piece to come up with and to design. And the way I do get a lot of
Did you do a
requests,
Valmonte
people want-
one?
We have
I
a
think-
Valmonte,
yeah, that's what I
we have
thought, yeah.
Portuguese Bend, we have Malga Cove, and then we have Lunada Bay.
That's great.
That's right.
And but I've been learning more of the neighborhoods because people will be like, hey, can you do Monte Malaga?
Yeah,
Or can
yeah.
you do
All
you
of
know?
it.
And then there's this giant chunk of us that are on the like Pedro side of the hill where we're like, facing Long Beach and people either it's like there's Miralest,
Yeah.
but it's also, it's RPV over there. And then there's a group of people that were like, we're just kind of like the East Siders. That's the side of the hill. And I was like,
East side.
yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
are we just making this up?
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
put that on a hat. But
Rancho
like,
San Pedro.
yeah, I'm like, what is that little chunk
Yeah.
called?
Rancho San
Yeah.
Rancho
Pedro.
San
That's
Pedro.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is funny. Yeah, it is, and it's so interesting too, just on the hill, how there's so many different identities of it, right? Because when you're coming in off Redondo Beach, like I've talked about this extensively, but the view of the Hollywood Riviera going into Palos Verdes Estates is one of the most iconic, beautiful views of all time with the red roofs.
Yeah.
And it's like Palos Verdes Estates has a very particular feel. And then, when you go on the backside of Rancho Palos Verdes, when you're like almost over to San Pedro, like just by Western and like up Palos Verdes Drive East.
Yes.
Totally different feel. Totally different vibe.
Yep.
Totally different like looks. And then when you get to the backside of PV and you're like looking at Catalina Island.
Yeah.
And you're over by like by Trump and then by Terranea, it's like a totally different place. It's just so cool how that gigantic peninsula can have so many different feels and identities and all of that. It's just so cool.
And that people have such pride in
what part of the hill are you from?
Yes,
100%.
Yes, a million percent. We've also been so interested by the microclimates on the hill where you're just
wild.
Trying to figure out. Someone was telling us the other day about the fog line, and they're like, oh, actually, the fog line, which is like where the fog stops, basically.
It stops every time at the same place.
Yes.
It does.
And so it's like, well, if you want sun most of the day, this is where you need to live.
Yes.
And it's like the views might be over here, but actually, if you want warm weather regularly, this is where you need to be. And then, I mean, we bought a few years ago, but our rental was a mile up the road, and it was, I swear, like 5 degrees cooler. It was just like the water, the mist, the marine layer, all of it. And yeah, it's been so fun because you're just like, well, what are we going to get today?
So like where your mom lives, like she's like right at the foothills of Palos Verdes, Rancho Palos Verdes and Rolling Hills Estates there.
Yeah.
And it'll be a 10-degree difference from the bungalow to her house.
Yes.
And when you're driving down PCH from the bungalow, it's always at Cali Mayor.
Yeah.
Right at the Taco Bell, just before South High.
Yeah.
The sun comes out
there.
the second you get east of that.
Yes.
And when you're driving to the bungalow, you'll be sunny, Sunnyville, 100%, Somerville, 24/7. And then you'll look and you'll be just this fog.
Yes.
And you'll drive in and it gets dark.
Like, why?
And your temperature goes from 82 to 68 in like 8 seconds. And you're like, oh, wow, this is so crazy.
There was a day that I was supposed to drop off an order at the bungalow, and it was not nice, but not raining at our house, and you guys were closed because it was raining so hard.
And on the beach. Isn't that crazy?
Well, how was I supposed to know?
How did that
happen?
I know.
Check the weather.
I know.
Go.
It is so crazy, and it is. And I mean, when you're like Palos Verdes Drive East, like it's way sunnier there all the time. It really just is. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which when you have kids that you just need to like send outside and go run.
Yes,
then
go run.
That's the vibe.
So awesome.
That's what we're working with.
So do you have any future?
Yeah, what's the future plans?
Yeah.
What are your goals with the Hill Coast?
What are the goals? I think for the most, I've got a few fun new design ideas, maybe a few new cities.
Ooh.
And
are they super secret?
They're super secret.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Super secret
Good.
for right
Build
now.
some suspense.
Yes.
Maybe we should have a contest. Maybe
That's a good idea.
What are the next cities going to be?
Yeah.
And if you guess right, maybe we'll do like a bungalow kind of gift card or
that would be
something.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll
I'm
figure it
just
out.
spitballing here. I don't
There's a
know.
vision.
That's
I think,
cool.
Yes. Something
Fun.
like that. It's also like I so much of life and when things roll out depends on my life. I'm like, okay, how much time am I going to have this fall to put my brain to this? And so is it going to be like a December sweatshirt or is it going to be a September sweatshirt? Nobody knows. Not even me.
Not even
I don't even know.
Not even me.
I'm the last one to know that one.
So that's why I'm always just like, oh, I don't know when it's going to be released. I'm not sure.
It keeps the suspense,
It keeps the suspense.
Yeah.
And then I think color-wise, I'm excited for some more like fall tones
Very
coming,
nice.
which, yes.
You mentioned
The earthy.
Earthy, yes. But even, I mean, I would really love a...
Don't give it away.
I know.
Yeah, you're like, how do I-
Earthy is
know
what
what
we're
I say
going for
here.
this fall, and I'm so excited about it. Yes.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
really fun.
And I think, just figuring out like a rhythm to, when we're going to release new products and what that looks like. I think I'm still just figuring all of that out as a business owner and really enjoying the process. And because so much of that like first year, I mean, I just put so much time and brain space into all of it and building it out. And And now it's like, how do I create something that is sustainable, that I really enjoy, and that I'm designing things that I feel inspired by, and not just like I have to feed the beast and keep going. So I think that what I'm most excited by is like, okay, how can I figure out a really good rhythm where I'm designing and having fun with it and enjoying it, and then also putting out gear that people love and,
fulfilling
balance.
the demand that exists now.
Yes, that's been really
We were
fun.
talking right before we started rolling that, I mean, because it is small batch, which is so cool, we get an order at the bungalow and they sell out very quickly.
5 seconds.
And then people walk in and they go, you had that black sweatshirt with the white Palos Verdes and a medium. I don't see any. Do you have any more?
Like you weren't here in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And so we are at the point where, Vicky, your mom, she has a wish list that we keep track of. And it's like, give me your phone number and we'll call you like when we get them.
I've kind of been telling people too that like will DM me on Instagram or like ask about it, like email or phone call or something. On our website, like we have it there and we keep it there, and you'll say out of stock, but there's like a little button underneath that says like notify me.
Yes, when it comes
which
back
is
in.
amazing. Yeah, I'm like, just go to this link.
Do
like
that,
and
and we'll let you know.
But it's like our whole wish list is just like
it's like pages sometimes.
That's so
pages
happy.
of people.
Well, and that also just like gives me courage to put in bigger orders too, because I think part of it when I was starting it, I got some really great advice on just like, okay, I want to do this in a way that is sustainable. I want quality products. I don't want to create a ton of waste. And Cole Crecelius, he's one of the founders of Known Supply, which they're like, they do an amazing job of they wholesale and they also sell, like it's their own brand also of sustainable clothing, and he said the worst thing that you can have is just a ton of dead stock.
100% agree with that.
That is the worst, thing you could do for the environment. And so that was so helpful in shaping like, okay, then I don't want to just like sit on a bunch of stock. I want there to be a need for it first.
Yes.
And so that's kind of been the, and just staying nimble. That was another like great word of advice that I got from Mare, the designer that I worked with. She was like, when you're as small as you are and as new, you just want to be able to be flexible. Like if something doesn't work, you want to be able to pivot. If something is working, you want to be able to go for it. Yes. And so, even
I feel like that's good to do even like when you're not new. Just like good like life advice for anyone, just like being able to pivot and be flexible and nimble and like being able to just kind of like go with the flow, having an idea, but then able to like what we always say, like pivot.
Let the market help dictate. Like what do I invest heavily in because it's really received well by the market versus how do I say, all right, we'll do something a little different. Like, that's great. And balancing that.
Yes. And just the stress of what it means when you put in these giant orders too. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Oh, it's so
that
especially
would
in
be
the beginning.
Crushing,
the cash flow is like the real thing.
Yes.
When we started our clothing brand, we had no cash, so we actually raised like a bunch of money on Kickstarter.
That's amazing.
Which was great.
Yeah.
But then same thing. Like I put in this massive order because I didn't have any connections in the fashion industry then. And I went to this. I wanted it all to be made in LA, and it was, but it was like they had big minimum orders. So I put in this monster order, and we sold like 80% of our shirts. But then I still had like over 100 of these things, and I was like selling through them. But it was just like having all these shirts. I was like, this is crazy. And then like this, like the nervousness of like putting in like a $20,000 order. You're like, oh my god, this better work.
The first time that I put in a giant order, I was like, oh Ryan, I'm gonna be sick. I'm not feeling well.
Literally
I
insane.
was just like, I don't know about that. We shouldn't do this.
This
we
better
should
work.
not-
This better work.
Yeah.
And he was like, just do it. And I was like, oh my gosh.
We'll do it.
Okay.
And sometimes you have to invest in yourself and trust in yourself. I've told this story before too, but like when we started the bungalow, same thing. We had no money. We had just gotten married. We opened a bank account.
That's amazing, you guys.
It was wild.
I'm like, I loved hearing your story. It was just so inspiring, so encouraging. I'm like, yeah, you just have to go for it sometimes.
You do.
No one knows what they're
And that's
doing.
the same thing.
knows.
Like we
No
literally,
one knows.
we were like, we have no inventory. We're selling things
Yeah.
like from our house. It was like a glorified garage sale in the bungalow when we started. We were like,
That's amazing.
I was like, do you like that photo or that art piece in the hallway? I'm gonna bring it down to the bungalow.
Yeah.
But we went to this trade show in Vegas to get inventory, and Emily looked at me and she was like, so how are we paying for this? And I was like, we're putting it on our credit card.
Credit card that I just opened.
And I just opened. I'm like, and I was like, we put like $20,000 in this credit card. And I was like, this better work.
Yeah. And then it did.
And
I
it
mean,
did.
look
Exactly.
at you guys. That's amazing.
Exactly. But you like the nervousness, but then it's
Oh my
like, but
gosh.
then also it's like one of those burn the boats moment where you're like, this has to work.
Yeah.
We have to figure out how to make this work.
Yes.
And like it's nervous and it's exciting, but those are like the risks in life that like are the most fulfilling.
Yes.
When because then it's like you get so creative and so you get so driven on, and you were talking about like being goal oriented, right?
Yeah.
We're both very similar. It's like the goal now is like we have to pay back the credit card.
Yeah.
Like, we have no choices.
That's
Here
what we've got to do.
And
Got to
so
make it happen.
you make it happen. And so, but that's what makes like entrepreneurship exhilarating is those feelings of when you do have those moments of success of like when we paid off that credit card, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
We did it. Like, let's keep this thing rolling. So
And then you're like, wait, that we can do this.
now what?
We
Yeah.
can
And
do-
then it's now what else can we do? Right. If we can do that, what else can we do?
My husband is his side hustle for forever has been real estate investing.
Oh,
And
very
he
cool.
started when we were first married. It was like we flipped our first house. He had no knowledge of, didn't grow up like handy at all, was YouTubing videos of how to lay floors
Unreal.
in like while he's doing it
Yeah.
at our house.
He's like on the phone.
was
He's like putting it. Yeah.
Wild. I mean, it was
That would terrify me.
it was terrifying. It was, yeah, I just have such vivid memories of that first
Totally.
house. But since then, I'm just so proud of him. It is like he's just built this muscle, and so when I was first making big purchases and making decisions, and I would go to him and I would be like, I am so unsure if this is how we're supposed to do it, and there's no one I can ask. There, like I have to with all of the things I have to take into account, I just have to make this decision.
Yes.
And he was like, sounds like you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I was like, thanks, babe.
Yeah,
And he was
I
like,
guess
yeah,
so.
that's what what he
He's
said.
like,
He was
"Welcome
like,
to the
get used
gig."
to it. And I was
Yeah,
like,
welcome to the
thanks.
game.
This
Welcome to
is
the game.
terrible. This is a bad feeling. I just want someone to come in and be like, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna sell. You're gonna do great. And but it has been such a fun process to learn the process, learn how to build something, learn how to build a product that is. There's just so many different pieces
And
that you have
people
to
are
think about it.
receiving
That
it,
people
yeah.
receive it, and so it's
Big time.
been fun.
Hugely.
Yeah.
That's really fun. So looking back, like let's say you could give yourself advice 8 months ago yourself, or we always like to say like budding entrepreneurs, people who might listen to this who think, man, I'd love to be an entrepreneur just like Taylor, right? What advice would you give to someone, either yourself or like someone like that?
Yeah. I would say the one thing that I think has like served me really well is follow through. It's like grit. You just have to be able to bring it across the finish line. And that doesn't mean it always has to be perfect, but it has to be done. And I think in this process, you find how hard it is to actually be the one where it's like all on your shoulders and to make all the decisions. And so I think it's the two things that have served me best. I'm like, oh, my community has just like picked me up and helped me time and time again. I'm like leaning into friends, family, all of those connections of people that have encouraged me. And then also there are just mornings where I have to be like, oh yeah, it's on, you got to get up and do it, get it done. That's what, there's no choices. It's on you. These things won't be packaged and put away.
There's no team.
Yes.
It's just you.
Which has been, I'm like, oh yeah, there's just grit that comes with it.
Yeah,
Grit's such
that's
a great word. Such a great word it
Yeah.
is, and you just have to have grit.
Yeah. And some days it's going to be terrible. And there is going to be,
Sometimes it's gonna be really hard.
so many returns that you're just like, is it even worth
Why?
it? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you just keep going. So yeah, I would just tell them like, oh, lean into your community and your friends and your family. And then, you have to follow through. You have to make it happen.
That is
Yeah.
great. And because that is a point, I think we talk about a lot on this with other entrepreneurs that we've talked about is like, there's the freedom that comes with entrepreneurship that is exhilarating, right?
Yeah.
You're not working for somebody else, like you own the business, right?
Yes.
But then there's a responsibility that is like
Yeah.
very much like lurking all the time of
Yes.
if you don't do it, no one will,
Yes.
right? No one will. It's like it's entirely on you. And so that is the balance that you have to be open to having if you want entrepreneurship is you get ultimate freedom, but then ultimate responsibility. And
it was like when I had to pay taxes the other day. I was like, taxes?
oh man, what I've learned about taxes,
Oh, yeah.
no kidding.
I was like,
Oh my goodness.
In my head, I'm like, I've got to do this. Who else could do this? No, I've got to do this.
you've gotta
I'm
do
the
this.
person who
Correct.
has to do this.
Yeah.
Okay. you know, I'll figure it out.
Totally.
This is, yeah, that's
Just grit. Just
just
go
grit,
through
just-
it.
yeah.
Yeah, but the things you get to learn that are so interesting,
Yeah.
that you would never otherwise. Yeah, like learning how to like file taxes for a business. It's like, why
Yes.
else would you do that if you don't? But
Exactly.
it's an awesome skill to have, just to know that you're capable of doing it.
Totally.
It's so cool in that regard.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We're all just figuring it out together.
Yes, we are, and it's an amazing journey, and we appreciate your designs. We appreciate
thanks.
you working with us. We've genuinely enjoyed it. It's been really fun to watch the reception from the community and the people. I mean, we get DMs on time on like Instagram. Like we'll post something about, and they're like, "Dude, these sweatshirts are insane." It's
Oh,
like,
that's so
yes,
sweet.
they are. Come
Yeah.
back, keep buying them.
Come back.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
If people listening want to find you on online or on Instagram, like where can we find you?
Yeah, our website is thehillcoastalco.com, and our Instagram handle is @thehillcoastalco. Yeah, Instagram is really that's what I've been able to, as far as the socials go. I'm
Definitely.
like, that's what I can commit to right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's-
And then our website, and yeah,
That's great.
that's where you can find us.
Yeah.
Love that. And find us at the Aloha Bungalow. Find you at the
Yes.
Aloha Bungalow.
Of course. Toenail, all of it. Yeah.
We're always stocked as much as possible, which is great.
Yeah.
As much as I have you guys.
Or get on the wish
Yeah.
list. Or get on the wish list.
Yes, I posted the other day. I was like, we don't have mediums, but the Aloha Bungalow does.
Yeah, there you go. There
Yeah.
you go. Find it somewhere in the South Bay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Which we're putting in. We need to put in a
Yeah.
reorder of everything.
Certainly
So
will.
after this.
I love it.
Okay. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Yeah,
Shannon.
thanks for
Appreciate
having
it.
me.
You're awesome. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you on the next one. You.